Clint Eastwood was born Clinton Eastwood Jr. on May 31, 1930, in San Francisco, California, at a time when economic hardship shaped the lives of countless American families. His childhood unfolded during the lingering effects of the Great Depression, forcing his family to move frequently as his father searched for stable work. These early disruptions instilled in Eastwood a sense of self-reliance and quiet endurance that would later define both his personality and career. Raised in modest circumstances, he attended several schools, including Oakland Technical High School, where he showed interest in mechanics and music rather than performance. After graduation, he worked a range of blue-collar jobs, including lifeguarding and lumber work, before being drafted into the US Army during the Korean War era. Those formative experiences shaped his disciplined demeanor and grounded worldview, long before Hollywood ever entered the picture, discovering acting almost by chance. Eastwood's path to acting was neither planned nor glamorous. After completing his military service, he moved to Los Angeles and enrolled at Los Angeles City College, taking drama classes more out of curiosity than ambition. A chance encounter with a Universal Studios assistant led to a screen test and eventually a contract, though his early roles were small and often forgettable. Rather than discouraging him, these early setbacks strengthened his resolve. He spent years learning the mechanics of filmmaking from the ground up, observing seasoned professionals and refining his understated style. His breakthrough arrived in the late 1950s with the television series Rawhide, where he portrayed Rowdy Yates. The show's success made him a familiar face in American living rooms, yet Eastwood remained restless. He sensed there was more to explore beyond the clean-cut television image he had been given. Reinventing the Western genre. That opportunity arrived when Italian director Sergio Leone cast Eastwood in what would become the legendary Dollars trilogy. Beginning with A Fistful of Dollars in 1964, followed by For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Eastwood helped redefine the Western genre. His Man with No Name spoke little but conveyed volumes through stillness, expression, and moral ambiguity. These films rejected the polished heroism of traditional westerns in favor of grit, consequence, and realism. Eastwood's restrained performance, paired with Ennio Morricone's evocative music, created an entirely new cinematic language. International audiences responded immediately, and Eastwood became a global star. More importantly, the trilogy reshaped how Western heroes could be portrayed, opening the door for more complex and human storytelling within the genre, expanding beyond the tough persona. As his fame grew, Eastwood resisted being confined to a single identity. In the early 1970s, his role as Inspector Harry Callahan in Dirty Harry cemented his reputation as a symbol of toughness and authority. While the character became iconic, Eastwood used the platform to explore deeper questions about justice, power, and responsibility. Rather than glorifying violence, his performances increasingly examined its consequences. Behind the scenes, he began directing, revealing an unexpected sensitivity and artistic control. Films like Play Misty for Me and High Plains Drifter demonstrated his growing interest in psychological complexity and moral uncertainty. These projects signaled that Eastwood was no longer content simply being a leading man. He was becoming a storyteller intent on challenging audiences rather than comforting them with easy answers. A director defined by reflection. By the 1980s and early 1990s, Eastwood had fully matured into one of cinema's most respected directors. Films such as The Outlawed Josie Wales and Pale Rider blended emotional depth with his signature restraint, but it was Unforgiven in 1992 that permanently altered his legacy. The film deconstructed the Western myth, presenting violence as tragic rather than heroic. Winning 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, Unforgiven marked Eastwood's transformation from genre icon to serious auteur. His later works, including Mystic River, Million Dollar Baby, and Gran Torino, continued this introspective trend. These films explored aging, regret, and redemption with quiet honesty. Even as he grew older, Eastwood's creative voice became sharper, more reflective, and deeply human. Personal life and quiet complexity. Away from the camera, Eastwood's personal life reflected the same complexity found in his films. His marriages to Maggie Johnson and later Dina Ruiz spanned different phases of his life and career. Johnson stood beside him during his early struggles and rise to fame, offering stability during years of uncertainty. Their long marriage endured challenges created by fame, distance, and personal differences, eventually ending in divorce. Years later, Eastwood married Dina Ruiz, beginning a chapter marked by renewed companionship and fatherhood with their daughter Morgan. Despite public attention, Eastwood maintained a reserved approach to family life, valuing privacy above spectacle. Through relationships, successes, and setbacks, he demonstrated an ongoing capacity for reflection and growth, shaping not only his personal evolution, but also the emotional depth of his later work. Crossing paths with Jack Palance. As Eastwood entered his 90s, he began reflecting on the figures who influenced him during Hollywood's earlier eras, including Jack Palance. Known for his intense screen presence and unforgettable performances, Palance was widely respected for his commitment to authenticity. Eastwood has described their interactions as memorable rather than frequent, marked by mutual professionalism rather than close friendship. Palance's approach to acting left a lasting impression. He was known for demanding emotional honesty, believing that fear, tension, and strength could never be convincingly faked. Eastwood admired this philosophy, recognizing in Palance a dedication to craft that transcended ego or popularity. Their paths represented different expressions of intensity, yet both valued presence over spectacle. In reflecting on Palance, Eastwood acknowledged the impact of working alongside someone who embodied discipline, focus, and artistic integrity. Respect earned through discipline. Eastwood has often noted that Palance's reputation for intensity stemmed not from hostility, but from high standards. Palance expected preparation, commitment, and seriousness from everyone on set, including himself. Eastwood respected that expectation, seeing it as a reflection of pride in the work rather than personal aggression. While Palance could be intimidating, his focus elevated performances and reinforced professionalism. Eastwood later carried similar values into his own directing style, favoring efficiency, respect, and emotional truth. He learned that mystery and restraint could be more powerful than excess, both on screen and off. Their shared belief in authenticity created an unspoken bond rooted in craft rather than sentiment. Looking back, Eastwood recognizes Palance as part of a generation that valued substance over image, leaving lessons that shaped his own enduring philosophy. Remembering an era now gone. In reflecting on Jack Palance late in life, Eastwood is ultimately reflecting on a Hollywood era that no longer exists. It was a time when performers relied on presence, discipline, and lived experience rather than technology or spectacle. Palance, in Eastwood's eyes, represented that era fully, unpolished, uncompromising, and deeply committed to truth. Eastwood's words are not revelations meant to shock, but quiet acknowledgements of respect earned over time. As he continues working well into his 90s, Eastwood stands as one of the last living bridges to that generation. His reflections remind audiences that behind legendary careers are human relationships shaped by work, discipline, and shared values. In honoring Palance, Eastwood honors the principles that guided his own life: authenticity, restraint, and enduring integrity.